Everyone who comes into Tamala will say that the layout of the hotel is actually what makes Tamala Tamala. But the easiest part of conceiving a hotel is building it. The most difficult part is getting the human resource capital that is going to run a hotel and that is going to service your guests, and this is what makes them come back.
Hello beautiful followers of My Gambia, welcome to December edition of my magazine. Today we have a special guest, the CEO of Djeliba Leisure Group. Djeliba Leisure Group is one of a kind, a Gambian-owned hotel group with a modern architecture and traditional style, with the water surrounding breathing life into the lavish outlay of one of the most visited hotels in the Gambia. The story definitely speaks of success, and one of the partners responsible for this is Mr Malleh Sallah, whom together with Mr Omar Jawara confidently built the image of the hotel and followed the partnership vision. We last spoke to Mr Sallah in 2020 when the pandemic took its first toll in the tourism numbers. Since then, the world has adjusted, trends have changed, and hospitality definitely needs to adjust to these changes. So we are delighted to look into the present and the future of Tamala, Kalimba, Balafon, and Jembe Beach Hotel. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Sallah.
Thank you, Awa. It's a pleasure to be here.
The world is slowly recovering and adjusting to life after COVID. What is the biggest lesson you learned?
Well, I think the biggest lesson we learned is don't put all your eggs in one basket. In business, you have to be innovative. In business, you have to be spontaneous. And in business, just as anything in life, when a challenge comes your way, you need to find a way to conquer that challenge and move forward. So I think our biggest lesson has been from the COVID pandemic that, for example, we should not rely too much, mainly on the international tour operators. We should try to diversify our business so that we are attracting not only tourists from Europe, but also tourists from the sub-region, and more importantly, Gambian tourists. Because once the Gambian tourists love your product and they support you, you are halfway there.
Yeah, and how has this pandemic affected the Gambia in both good and bad ways?
Before the pandemic, we saw the tourism figures coming into the country. The Gambia was actually on a very steep climb as far as tourism numbers were concerned. What the pandemic did was put a halt to this and almost made us start from ground zero again. We are starting to see a resurgence of the tourism numbers into the country. It will definitely take a few years before we fully recover. But I think we are on the right path. Most people who have come to the Gambia have had a good experience. They've enjoyed the company of Gambian people, our smile, our hospitality, our teranga. This always stays in someone's mind. When we take care of people, you will find out that once you take care of somebody, no matter what happens, at some point it will come back again and they will all remember that we are here, and the tourism numbers in the Gambia will start to grow again quite fast.
Yes, and I think this is why guests at Djeliba Leisure Group hotels keep coming back.
Absolutely.
What are the things you are doing differently now?
We are marketing differently. We are concentrating quite a lot of our marketing in the sub-region. We constantly have special rates for Gambians who come to visit our hotels. And I always say, before COVID, one of the things that we didn't do well as hoteliers was to attract our Gambians into our hotels. I think we have achieved that very well now, and we have seen the power of Gambians, because Gambians have given us have supported us, and this has been a main part of our success. We are now employing more e-commerce, e-marketing. This is actually making us more of an independent business. We don't rely 100% on the tour operator. And really, I feel that once you do something for yourself, you do it even better. And this has been a big part of our resilience and our success post-COVID.
You are very present in the social media market. Talking about technology and the recovery of hospitality, in your opinion, how will technology play a role in the recovery of the hospitality industry?
You know, I always say, when I was young going to high school, for example, I had to go to a library to research. But nowadays, if any student wants to research anything, all the information is on the phone. It's the biggest tool we have to knowledge. It's the biggest tool we have to educate ourselves, and it's the biggest tool that we have to connect ourselves to the world. Now, talking about connecting ourselves to the world, what e-marketing has given us, it has given us the opportunity as Gambians to be independent from tour operators. Prior to e-marketing, we were 100% reliant on how the tour operator sold and marketed our destination. Now, what e-marketing is giving us is an opportunity as a country to use this tool to market what is best in our country, and we can do it independently. We don't have to depend on anyone, and we can send out the story that we as Gambians want to send out. And I think when Gambians send out a story, we will send out a positive story of this country that is ours.
And this will bring more people
Absolutely.
to the country.
Absolutely.
Do you think the number of tourism and the structure of tourists visiting the Gambia will be the same as in 2019?
We have to aim for better than 2019. As a country, we know our potential, and I can tell you we have not reached yet a quarter of our potential when it comes to tourism. We can do much, much better. The Gambia is a beautiful country. We have beautiful weather, we have beautiful beaches, we have beautiful human beings who live in this country. We live in one of the safest destinations as far as tourism is concerned. Of course, there are some bad elements, and that is apparent in every country. Mm-hmm. But generally, the Gambian is welcoming. The Gambian is ready to give our taranga, give what is the best of us Gambians. We don't have elephants, we don't have rhinos, we don't have the big five, but God has blessed us with beautiful beaches, beautiful weather. The sun is shining in the Gambia almost 365 days of the year. It rains only in a short period. So we have everything to make Gambia a bigger tourism destination. Whilst we are doing this, of course, we must think about how to make this tourism sustainable, how to protect the Gambian environment as we promote and develop our tourism product, and how to make sure that Gambians are benefiting from this tourism product, because this is very important. The Gambia doesn't have oil, we don't have diamonds, so our resources are not that many. Luckily, our population is also not that big, which makes it very important that any sector in this country, any business in this country must benefit Gambians.
Yeah, and this will take me to responsible and sustainable tourism.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it, and is it something that you will implement in your hotel chains?
We are already implementing it. It is the responsibility of every Gambian to take care of the Gambia. It is the responsibility also of every Gambian to take care of Gambia. We need to love our country. Loving our country means we need to stop littering, we need to take care of our environment, you know, we need to make sure that the beauty that God has endowed on us in this country, that we protect it.
And preserve it.
And preserve it and cherish it and be proud of it. And what makes us Gambians is the land that we stand. This is what gives us the right to call ourselves Gambians. If we don't preserve it, if we don't nurture it, if we are not proud of it, and if we don't take care of it, nobody else is come and do it for us. So it is our responsibility as Gambians to take care of each other, to take care of the children, that they are not exploited in tourism, to take care of our environment, that tourism is not destroying our environment, to take care of the beauty of this country, to give respect to this country so that when people come here, they come to clean tourism. Another part of being responsible that we feel is the way we educate the young ones who come to work with us, the young ones who come to train with us. We make sure that we don't just bring trainees and leave them to do what they do. The young ones also that come to work for us, we mold them. They have to be molded to be the best staff that anyone can ever produce in the country.
Based on your extensive experience, and you have built successful hotel brands, what advice would you give to hoteliers that are starting up in the business?
You have to be special. When you build a hotel, you do not follow, you have to lead. New products coming into any business have to take a lead. We cannot continue having, for example, 5 people selling the same product sitting at the same place. We have to be innovative. So once you see that someone has taken a business to a particular level, the only way for you to succeed will be if you have it in your mind that I'm going to take this forward to the next level. I think one particular point that is important in this is that we need to respect what is ours. We need to respect African architecture, we need to respect our food, we need to respect our culture. And once we do this, we will see that when a tourist comes to Gambia, he is coming to see what is Gambian. And this is how we make ourselves unique from all other destinations.
But talking about taking care of our country, if we are selling the Gambia as a destination, every destination have a lot of things to offer. But what is one thing about Gambia that is unique and other destinations don't have?
The people, really. I think our main asset we have in this country are the people. The Gambia is safe because the Gambians are people who respect the dignity of human being. And I think this is why the Gambia has survived so long, being one of the most religious tolerant countries in the world. The Gambia has survived so long, being one of the least tribalist countries in the world. And I hope and I pray that as Gambians, we see this as our asset and we continue to develop this country as one, forget about our tribes and think of ourselves as Gambians. Because once we do this, you will see power together is the power that will drive a nation.
So what are the unspoiled areas that you think Gambia has?
I think as a country, there are certain areas I hope and pray we always remain unspoiled. Because we need greenery in this country, we need nature in this country. So it is very important that in whatever we do, our policies as a country have to also protect green areas and unspoiled areas. Now, I think an area that is really underutilized when it comes to tourism is the river. We have a beautiful river that is very rich in flora and fauna, that also has some historical sites on it, but I think due mainly to transportation issues, it's very difficult to communicate along the river. There is not one provider who provides a safe and reliable means of cruising between Banjul, for example, to Basse. And I think this is something that needs to be worked on because it is part of what can, again, take our tourism product to another level. Yeah. I mean, of course, as we are doing all of that, we need to also protect what this River Gambia is. Again, our name is derived from our river.
Yes.
Yeah. So, hey, we all know that we take care of our ancestors and our parents. This is the River Gambia is what is the parent of our name as a country, which gives us the right for us to call ourselves Gambians. So we need to protect it. But it's also a resource that is out there that I think is underutilized, and it can, again, add to the beautiful attractions that this country has to offer.
What are some of the things that attracts guests to the hotels of Djeliba Leisure Group?
I think what's unique about us is the architecture, the thought that goes into conceiving the hotel, but also very importantly, the human resource capital that runs this hotel, runs it smoothly, and make sure that guests who walk into the hotels are happy. Human beings drive a business. So what we do, we are very particular about who works for us. 99% of our staff are Gambians. We are proud to say this. Most of the guests who walk into the hotel will leave saying that the staff have been awesome.
Djeliba Leisure Group is one of the most successful hotel groups in the Gambia. And it's impressive how you are running 3 hotels at the same time and you have all of it booked during festive seasons. What are your recipes to success?
The secret really is creating something credible. First, we have to love our country, yeah? Because this country gives us everything that we have to be successful. It's here. Secondly, I feel that with all the opportunities that God has given us, we have to work very, very hard, yeah? So hard work, I would advise all Gambians who think of getting into business to also think of how hard they are ready to work. Because that's the only way you are going to be better than everybody else, by working harder than them. My third advice would be to be honest. To be honest to yourself, to know what you want, and to be honest to whoever is going to experience your business or your product. But I think it comes down to just respecting your guests. When a guest walks into the hotel, the way they feel, the way you treat them, the comfort that you provide for them, it all comes to being honest, because this is what I call honest business. Honest business is that you give a guest what they pay for. Yes. Yeah. And once you do that, they will come again. Actually, you have to even give them more than what they pay for. And I feel when you come into Tamala, when you come into Kalimba, when you go to Balafong, we give you first-class service in a first-class environment. We manage everything up to the music that you will hear. In our hotels, we try now to create different forms of entertainment. We have different team nights. We have just introduced like a barbecue on the beach on Wednesdays. We have a fish market where we sell fresh fish, you know, and you can go and choose your fish. You take it to the butcher to clean it for you. Then you take it to the chef who is going to cook it for you a la minute in front of you, and then it will be served to your plate. So you feel and you know that the product that you are eating is fresh from the Gambian sea. And we are going to continue introducing new forms of entertainment, new themes of food, which we feel is what makes us different.
Yeah, and talking about your entertainment, it's rich and diverse. Is this why guests love to return to your hotels?
Yeah, I mean, I think guests love to return into the hotels because when they come in, they feel good. People come to a hotel to feel good. And if you give them that feel-good environment, you give them everything, like I said, from the music to the way the plate is served on the table, to the greeting that the waiter gives a guest when they sit down, to the kind of music you are playing, to the sounds of the sea. I mean, it all comes together to create a full product.
When you search on the internet about the Gambia and accommodation, Djeliba Leisure Group hotels are on the top. And looking at the Djeliba Leisure Group, it's a Gambian-owned hotel group. And looking at the name, the furnitures and everything, has everything to do with Gambia and Africa at large. You're also supporting Gambian artists and Gambian entertainment. Could this be some of the reason why the hotel is on top or in the industry?
Yeah, of course, because we are in Gambia. People come to Gambia to be in Gambia. So we promote what is best about Gambia, and we promote Gambian cuisine, we promote Gambian culture in our entertainment. So really, I feel people come to Gambia to experience Gambia and to experience Gambians, and I think this is what we give them. And I always say, before COVID, one of the things that we didn't do well as hoteliers was to attract our Gambians into our hotels. I think we have achieved that very well now, and we have seen the power of Gambians, because Gambians have given us, have supported us, and this has been a main part of our success.
Let's talk about you. The last time when we had the interview with you, we could see how proud your stars and people that know you are. And even Gambians outside and other Africans are proud and inspired by you. So you at work, what are some of the things that could put a smile on your face?
I think one thing that puts really a smile on my face is when I see a positive guest comment, not particular to the hotel, but that they point out a certain member of staff and say, this staff has really made our stay wonderful. Looking at the smile of that face, we are human beings and we like to hear good things. We like to be complimented. So for me, this is what puts the biggest smile on my face. When a customer is so satisfied, they will come back. And this is my experience.
So what would you like to say to guests that are out there, maybe thinking, planning to come to the Gambia?
First, I can be very biased and say come to Tamala. But it's not about Tamala. It's about the Gambia. So I will tell the whole world, come to the Gambia. We have beautiful hotels all along the coast. We have beautiful lodges. We have very nice sites all over the country to see across the coast. And when you go into the hinterland of the country, along the river, the Gambia is a beautiful country, it's a safe country, and it has wonderful people.
What are future plans for Djeliba Leisure Group?
We are going to build a new hotel, for sure. This is our strength, this is our business, this is what we do. It won't be a big hotel. It will be a small hotel between 80 to 100 rooms. It's going to be boutique, it's going to be unique, and it's going to express what is best again, even better than the hotels we have built about this country. Again, I love pools and water. It's going to have a lot of water, yeah? But then it's going to be a product that we have not seen yet in West Africa. It's on the way and it's going to come soon. We are also thinking of diversifying our business. We feel that we are now well equipped and capable to also look at building hotels in the sub-region. We feel that our power, especially looking at Tamala, imagine a Tamala in Senegal. You will not find a hotel like Tamala in Senegal. It is non-existent. Yes. So this is a concept that would do very well, for example, there and in any country in the sub-region. So the idea really now is to replicate the successes that we have had here and create a chain that not only looks at the Gambia, but is going to export what is, again, best of ourselves as Gambians, be Gambian ambassadors and export our businesses to the sub-region. We spoke about this 2 years ago, and we have still not been able to implement. But really, one of the plans we have as a company is to create one of our hotels into an institute of excellence in hospitality. I'm proud to say right now that plans are well ahead to achieve this. We see this as a necessity in our business. We see this also as an opportunity for ourselves to give back to our country. Because I am of the opinion that the way forward in building this country is in providing quality education. In the hotel, we are, for example, one thing that we are thinking of doing now is we are lucky, and it was totally by accident, that we have flat roofs. We want to bring in solar and be the first hotel in West Africa to be 100% solar. This is part of protecting our environment, and this is part of protecting our country. Something else that we plan to do is to build a mini city. We have talked about it. We talked about it a few years ago, and because of COVID, it was difficult to envision. But now we feel that the time is right.
It's amazing how you're coming up with ideas of different hotels and different types. Do you feel like you're being in competition with yourself by building so many hotels?
Obviously, we are businessmen. And before we do anything, we do a lot of research. We do a market research to see whether it is feasible, yes or no. And if you look at all our hotels, there have been success stories. Again, we did not just follow. Someone opens a hotel and we decide we're going to jump and do the hotel next to them and do the same kind of structure, blah, blah, blah. When we come out with something new. If you look at Balafong, the nature of Balafong is totally different from Tamala. If you look at Tamala, it might have some similarities with Kalimba, but we develop Kalimba to the other level compared to Tamala. So we are not competing with ourselves. What we are doing is creating the best products in the country. Now it's up for everyone else to come and follow us and make sure that they are beating what we are doing.
Now you're making it more challenging for them to come with any idea.
It's a challenge. I know good things take hard work. This is how we develop our country. Not by hugging our success and thinking that we are going to be here permanently as leaders of this industry. We want other Gambians to come in and do things better than us. There are a lot of geniuses out in this country, Gambians, and they have the ability to do it better than us. I would love to see the day where someone does it better than me so that I can look at him and say, okay, in my next project, I have to do it better than them. This is how we build a country, not by pulling each other down, but by pushing each other forward. And for me, if someone does something better than me, it is my challenge to then go and do it better than them, not to be on the same level as them. Then we are competing. Imagine if all of us did that, how fast we can develop this small, beautiful country of ours with only 2 million people. It's possible, but we have to think positively. And as Gambians, we need to help, we need to support each other. Our government needs to support Gambian businesses. Gambians need to support Gambian businesses. And we need to, I don't mind if any Gambian who wants to get into the hotel industry. I have a wealth of knowledge. Omar has a wealth of knowledge about this industry. Come and talk to us. And we will give you positive advice that won't cost you a dime. You can go and pay a consultant to give you ideas on how to build a hotel or how to make a hotel successful. But they can never do it by us who have been living this and doing this and have the experience. And we will give you, and you will pay them a lot of money. We can give it to you for free. These are the kind of people we are. These are the Gambians we are. And we hope that as Gambians, we can help each other like this. Because in the end of the day, we are building a country for our children. We are building a country for our grandchildren. And we want to make sure that come 50 years from now, we are remembered as Gambians who were trailblazers, who set the standards to give Gambia the best potential to move forward as a tourism destination, to be the #1 destination in Africa. We can do it.
Wow. Thank you so much. This has been such an inspirational interview. Thank you for honoring our interview. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow our social media pages at My Gambia Tourist Guide on both Instagram and Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe to our monthly online magazine on www.my-gambia.com, and also follow the hotels of Djeliba Leisure Group on Tamala, Kalimba, Balafon on Facebook and Instagram. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment.